ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णा प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्णा चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थे बीजस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया। मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 23, verse number 34. So we read that Krishna, he told the Yajnapatnis, the wives of the Brahmanas, to go back, and when they said that our husbands' relatives will not accept us, so he assured them that that will not happen. And then he also gave the principle that the important thing in love is not something external, because love is an internal thing, and that's why bhakti is difficult to understand, because bhakti is the religion of heart. Although there are external activities, because whatever is in our mind, then it also manifests externally. But the real essence or real characteristic of bhakti is bhav, which is internal. And that's why bhakti is difficult, rare, sudurlabha, difficult to understand, because you can perform an external activity, and that does not mean that your heart is aligned with that. We do many activities externally, but internally we think differently. So bhakti means where your heart and your actions are aligned, and actions are aligned with heart. Heart is the important thing. That's why it is called bhav, sthai bhav, or the permanent mood. So this is what Krishna said, that na prite anuraga hi ang sango nrinam hi. Physical association is not the true characteristic, but Shravana darshan, dhyan, mayo bhavo anukirtanat. So mayi bhavo anukirtanat. So he also spoke about bhav. And then he says that you please return, because it is not practical for that they can be with him. So they went back. So this is described by Sri Sukadeva Goswami. Sri Sukha uvacha iti yuktva dvijpatnes ta yajyavatam punargataha techa asuya vastabhi stribhi satram aparayan techa anasuya vastabhi. So when they were told like this by Krishna, the wives of the Dvijas, they returned back to Yagyashala, where the yagya was being performed. And these Brahmanas, they did not find fault in them, anasuyava. So this is the characteristic of devotees. Devotees, because they see the presence of Krishna, God everywhere, so they don't have the characteristic to find fault. So now the Brahmanas, they were also influenced by their association. So techa anusuyavas tabhi stribhi satram aparayan. And therefore they completed that satra, the long yajna, with the help of their wives. Because without their help, they would not be able to complete it. So ityuktasta krishnasya abhiprayam jyatva eva gata. So understanding the intention of Krishna, they left. Rasarambhe gopyastu tadabhiprayam gyatva eva sthita. So we see a similar situation which will come later on, that gopis also came to Krishna, and Krishna said the same thing, that you go back to your house, your husband's family. So they did not return. And these Yagyapatnis, they returned. So why is that? Why they behave differently? So it says both of them, they understood intention of Krishna. And that's why I say bhakti is the heart's religion. Because it is in your heart, and you also act according to the heart of the person whom you love, which is Krishna here. So the wives of the Brahmanas, they also understood Krishna's heart, that he really wants them to go back. So therefore they went back. And similarly gopis, they also understood that he really didn't want them to go back, although he was saying. That's why this is the important point which he is commenting here, that even he is saying with his mouth, go back. They did not go, because that's what he wanted, although he is saying something opposite. But they know that in his heart he does not want them to go. So that's why I say that abhiprayam gyatva. So Yagyapatnis, they also understood Krishna's intention, that he truly wants them to return, and gopis also understood that he truly does not want them to return. And they both acted accordingly. So that means they both were aligned with Krishna's heart. They understood what he truly intends. So therefore he says iti premni na kvapi kapi haniriti jayam. So he says therefore in love there is no loss. That he is saying go, they went. He is saying go, they don't go. So it looks like that gopis did not follow Krishna's instruction. And therefore what kind of devotees are they? They are not obeying his instruction. So this is the problem with love. It says that aher eva premna kutilagati. Just like if you have seen snake, how it moves, it goes like this. It goes from here to there, it doesn't go straight like that. It will go this way. So that's how love moves. Krishna is saying this way, they are going that way. Krishna is saying go, they are saying no go. So this is, he says, premni, na kvapi kapi hani riti jayam. So this should be understood. So it's not easy to understand the dealings in love. Now he describes the story of one lady who was not able to come. Tatraika vidhrita bhartra bhagavantam yathashrutam hridop guhya vijaho deham karmanu bandhanam. So one of the wives was not allowed by the husband to come. He was really tough guy. So he said, no, you cannot go. He got so angry that he locked her up in the room. So therefore it says, Tatra eka vidhrita. Vidhrita means she was blocked. She was not allowed to come. So what did she do? So he says, Bhagwantam yathashrutam hridapguhya vijahu deham karmanubandhanam. So no one can stop love. You can stop somebody's body. You can stop physical action. You cannot stop somebody's mind. And because love is the characteristic of the heart. So how the husband is going to stop her from loving Krishna? You can only force the physical body. You cannot force the mind. Hiranyakashipu was so powerful that even the devas were scared of him. But his own son, he could not change. So he tried his best. He tried to first cajole him, tell him logically, don't forget about this Vishnu Krishna. He is the enemy of our family. He has killed your uncle. So don't think of the enemy. He said no. And he asked, what is the best education? What have you learned in the school? So he says, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. So this is the best. Iti punsarpita vadha bhakti chaivna lakshana. So he says, adhite mande tadadhitam uttam. This is the best education, I think. He's telling to his father who hates Vishnu and who is so powerful. To him he's saying, small boy. And then he tried to kill him. He did not change. So you can do anything externally, but how will you change somebody's heart? So therefore the husband, he tied the wife with ropes and put him inside a room and locked from outside. So what did she do? She meditated on Krishna as she has heard, because she has never seen. So Bhagavantam yathashrutam, as she has heard, so she meditated like that. So just like we hear about Krishna, we have not seen him. So we can also meditate. So Hridab Guhya, so she embraced Krishna in her heart and then gave up her physical body. Deham karmanubandhanam vijaho. Mohak tyage adhokshaja jaho. So this body which we have is a product of karma. It's called karmanubandhan. So she gave up this body. What does it mean she gave up this body? It means she got another body. Otherwise, what is the point in saying? It was enough to say here vijaho deham. That thinking of Krishna, she gave up her body. So why it has to be said here deham karmanubandhanam? She gave up the body which is a product of karma. It implies that she gave up the body which is a product of karma and she got a spiritual body. That is the implied sense. Otherwise it is enough to say she gave up the body. Everybody knows body is karmanubandhan. It's nothing new. So Shastra does not use useless words. And if something is looking extra, that means something extra is indicated by that, implied by that. So that is the implied sense that she attained Krishna in spiritual form. She gave up the material body. So she actually met Krishna before the other wives. Because they are walking and she went straight immediately. So this is the power of bhakti, that no one can stop it. Ahetuki apratihata. It is unobstructed. So this bhakti, when one reaches at this level, then no one can obstruct it. Prahlad's bhakti could not be obstructed. So like that her bhakti was not obstructed. So she reached Krishna by attaining spiritual form. So tatra yajyavate eka sarvasamapi paschat sthita. So when these Brahmana wives, they are moving with the food and they are walking fast, one remained a little behind. So by the time the husband came, he caught him. He says, where are you going? I will not let you go, I am hungry, give me food. So therefore it says, Eka sarva samapi paschat sthita. She was at the end of all of them. Ateva visheshena balat dhrita. So therefore she was caught forcibly. Vidhrita means forcibly he caught her and brought back. And karmanu bandhanam eva deham jaho natu premanu bandhanam deham. So now he comments on that she gave up the body which was product of karma, not the body which was an outcome of prema. So she got the premanubandhana body, a body made of love. It is spiritual body. Tadanimeva mahaviraha autkantyam pravriddha manorathena udbhavitam bhagavata spurti praptena upgrihitam cha tasmat tena dehena chinmayena sarvajana alakshitena yukta sati sa sighrameva tatasthanadabhishritya Shri Bhagavantam prapte. So therefore right at that moment, because of her eagerness due to suppression, utkantha. So utkantha eva mahatam avapti hetu. He is saying in Sanskrit that it is the intense eagerness which is the cause in attaining the supreme goal. So that's why he was also commenting before that Krishna is sending them back to increase their intensity of eagerness, utkantha. So here she already got it, mahaviraha utkantyam. So eagerness due to separation, pravriddha manorathena udbhavitam. And Why this Utkantha eagerness came? Because her Manoratha, her wish to meet Krishna was blocked, so now it became more intense. And Bhagavata Spurti Praptena Upgrihitam cha. And therefore Krishna made her feel the presence of himself and accept her. Tasmat tena dehena chinmayena. So therefore she got the Chinmaya body, transcendental body, and thus invisible to everyone. Sarvajana lakshitena yukta sati sa sigram eva. So therefore immediately her physical body is there, but spiritual body, she immediately attained Krishna. So therefore says that sigram eva tathasthanad abhishritya. So coming out of that place, the spiritual body cannot be obstructed by the walls or the ropes. Sri Bhagavantam prapeti. So she attained Krishna. Karmanu bandhanam iti padasya vaiyarthyad evam vyakhyatam. So the commentator is now explaining that why he is giving this explanation. So he says this explanation is being given because if we do not explain it like this word karmanubandhanam becomes futile. It doesn't say anything extra. If you don't have karmanubandhanam here in the sloka, still you will get the same sense. That she gave up the body means she gave up the material body. Because what other body you can give up? So then why is karmanubandhanam stated here? To indicate the other. So sometimes certain things are not spoken directly. So Sukadeva Goswami is speaking indirectly because Advaita Vedanta is also study Bhāgavatam. So they will see it in different light. Their interpretation will be different. Devotees also read, they will interpret. Karma yogis will read, they will say, look, she became free from karma. That's why it is said karmanubandhanam. They will think like that. So Shastra is written in a way that everybody can feel satisfied. Kincha mamtaspadan patyadins tyaktva iti kim chitram ahantaspadam deham api tyaktva kachit swam priyam krishnam abhisasare iti premanah prabhava japnartham bhagavad kripa tam ekam abhisar samaye karmanubandham deham tyajitva eva premanubandham chinma deham grahamas. So now he is speaking more on this. He says, moreover, we are very much attached to things which we call as ours. Right? Somebody is a relative, my husband, my wife, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my house, my car, my. So, but more important than my is I. Right? Your attachment to my is lesser than your attachment to I. So he's saying that what to speak of giving up husband, etc., which are my. She gave up the very I. Because I, when we say I, to what does it relate? To the material body. Right? When you introduce yourself, I am so and so, you are introducing your material body. And that material body is very dear. So she gave up that. So that's what is saying, that patyadins taktva iti kim chitram. It is not very wonderful that they gave up their husband, etc. She gave up her own body itself. And taspadam deham api tyaktva kachit. And why? Because she wanted to meet Krishna. So in that physical body she could not meet Krishna. Therefore she said, this physical body is useless. I give up. So the other wives, they left the husband to meet Krishna, and now for her the body itself became an obstacle. So that body which is considered as most dear, she dropped that also and went and met Krishna. So he says this is to show the power of prema. That the prema is so powerful that one can sacrifice one's own self, means one's own body. You can sacrifice anything for love, for the sake of love. So that's what is being shown here. So Bhagavad Kripa tam ekam abhisara samaye karman anubandham deham tyajitvena. So because she has sacrificed everything including her own body, then Krishna's grace descended on her and gave her the spiritual body. So Chinma Deham Grahyamas. So she was awarded spiritual body. Tad anyasam sarvasam tu karmanubandhan eva dehan sparsmani nyayena premanubandhi chinmayam eva chakar. And what about the other wives who attained Krishna? In their case, their physical body was transformed into spiritual body. So in the case of this lady, her physical body was dropped and she got spiritual body, and the other ladies, their spiritual body got transformed into spiritual body. Their material body got transformed. Just like you have a touchstone. So in the olden days there used to be touchstone. And the quality of touchstone is that if you touch iron to the touchstone, iron turns into gold. So similarly, when Prema touched, or Krishna's grace touched the wives of Brahmanas, their material body turned into spiritual body. Taddintas tasam na swasva patyashleshaiti kimasakyam bhagavad kripaya. So therefore from that day onward, they did not have any physical relationship with their husbands, because now they did not have any material form. So he says, what is impossible for the grace of Bhagavan? It can do anything. It can also turn the material into spiritual. Tasyam ekanshena utkarshas tad anyasva api anyena anshena utkarsha iti tasam tartamyam tu bhakti shastreshu anirnitatvat na shakyate vaktu. So now if one asks you that who is better, were the wives who reached Krishna with food, they are better devotees, or the one who was not allowed and she gave up the physical body, she is better? So he says it is difficult to say. And Shastra is silent on it. It's not saying anything. So you cannot ascertain whether they are more devoted or she was more devoted. Or maybe both are equally devoted. So he says, I cannot say anything. Because they both are. Because others were not stopped, maybe they would have also done the same thing. So how can we say? Because it's not that giving a body itself is superior. Doing seva. But because she was not allowed to do it, then she gave up. So he says, cannot say which one is. Sarvasam eva tasam bhagavad kripa siddham eva. But what is important to understand is that both of them, they became perfected by the grace of Krishna. So there are two types of devotees. One is called sadhana siddha, other is called kripa siddha. So those who attain perfection by performing sadhana are called sadhana siddha, and those who attain perfection by attaining kripa, grace, they are called kripa siddha. So the Yagyapatnis are called kripa siddha. And it is said kripa siddha Yagyapatnir Vairochani Shukadaya. So these three are given examples by Rupa Goswami and Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Wives of the Brahmanas, Bali Maharaj, because Vaman Dev went to beg 3 steps of land from him, and then Vaman Dev put his foot on his head, and Sukdev. Because Sukdev was Brahmagyani, he did not want to take birth. He says, I am better inside, it's quite safe here, no hassle, no problem. So then Krishna came, blessed him, and he came out. So these three are given examples of Kripa Siddha Bhaktas.
Babaji, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
These Brahman Patnis got spiritual bodies that
Yes.
resemble the material bodies. Right?
Your
The
voice.
spiritual bodies of the Brahman, the Yagyapatnis, are the same as, they look the same as the material bodies. They have the same role. They're still married to the Brahmins.
Yeah.
So then, is it that the eternal position then is to be eternally married to Brahmanas and never to be united with Krishna?
Not necessary.
So,
No, that's not necessary. They can also, they got spiritual body and then they can meet Krishna after this is over.
I see. So their identity is not Brahmanas, but is that it?
No.
Okay. So then they are gopis of some sort?
Yeah, they can also be born again and become gopis. It is not stated here, but maybe later on. Yeah, they can become gopis.
Babaji Maharaj. So I have got one this doubt here that Brahman Patni who gave up her body, she got a spiritual body, and others had like their physical body was transformed in spiritual body. So when these other ladies came back, so what about that Brahman Patni who had given up her body?
What about her?
Is in the sense because on that practical level she would be dead now.
Yeah, that's the meaning.
So she did not return.
Return where? She did not go anywhere. Return where? She
So,
was
like,
at home only.
when all these Brahmins want the food for Krishna, so she also would be there with them or no?
No, she went to Goloka.
Oh, okay.
So,
Babaji, one quick question. So this Karmanubandha Deha and Brahmanubandha Deha, that looks like it's the bhav, change in their bhav basically. There is no this death or anything else happens in that sense.
yeah,
Would
just
that be the proper understanding?
it's all about bhav only. Otherwise, spiritual body is not visible. It's like we
Yes.
talk about this is a topic which is very confusing. Now some people will say, well, the matter is turning into spirit. So it is same thing like you hear that deity was talking to the devotees. So deity is talking, is it the stone which is talking or Krishna is talking, who is talking? Like there's so many stories like that we hear.
Yes. Sakshi Gopal.
He was walking, right, and then he stood. So who was walking? On the stone piece walking or Krishna walking? And then we hear in Chaitanya Charitamrita that as soon as you, or in many places you take Diksha, your body turns spiritual. So is it this body which is looking, and we also say that body of devotees, body of guru, don't think that to be material. But then they all have material problems. Fall sick, hungry, die, all becoming old. So how to see this? So this, you have to adjust your brain a little bit with this. So important thing is the bhav. Otherwise now, as Tanmay was asking that, okay, now what will happen after they die? So they will become gopis, so that means they will have another form body, that means spiritual body is undergoing transformation, all these questions will come. Right? Or is it some kind of vikar going on? Because entering into Krishna's life means you have to take birth. You have to take birth from a gopi body, otherwise how will they have ahanta of being a cowherd girl? Because Krishna's lila is nar lila. His pastime is human pastime. So human pastime means you have to take birth, like he takes birth himself. Although you say, okay, there in Mathura he just appeared with 4 hands, but from Yashoda he actually took birth. And he actually has this feeling, I am a cowherd boy, I am son of Yashoda. Because without birth, how will you have this feeling? Unless you are born in Germany, why would you think I am a German? Okay, you can go from another country and then take citizenship. But then you know it that I came from another country. I came from Poland and became German. Right? No. Never. Never. It's other way around. I came from Germany and became Polish. And that's better. You see, you have to have strong identity like this. So how will you get the sthai bhav of being Indian, German, Polish if you are not born there? If you are born in another country and you take citizenship of another country, you don't get that sthai bhav. Right? So you can become Spanish or Portuguese, but you're still Colombian, Your DNA, the cells are coming from there. So therefore, those who enter into Krishna-līlā, they also have to take birth. Then they have the identity. Because they don't think we are some spiritual beings. That is the meaning of human pastime. They all think we are human beings. That's why they are worshipping Indra, etc. They don't think that Krishna is Bhagavan. If they think Krishna is Bhagavan, it's not Nar-Līla. They think that they are just village people living like that. Krishna is living with them. Krishna also doesn't say, I am God, I am this, I am that. Once in a while it is described like this for us to understand. Otherwise we will also forget it. But for them it is never happening. So this is something difficult to grasp. And it's a very complex thing. That's why those people who are following yoga, Gyan Marg, this Marg, they say all these devotees, they talk all these types of nonsense. Because moksha means Brahman realization. He says, where is the moksha in this? They're still saying you're a human being. They're making even God as a human being. It's problematic, for them. You cannot understand. That's why Krishna says, Bhaktya Mahavijanati Yavanyastasmin Tatvata. Only through devotion you can understand him. If you're not devotee, even Brahma got confused. Is he really God? This guy's going around with food on his left hand. Even a normal person does not do that. In India it was forbidden to touch food with the left hand. And how he can be God? God is one who takes all the food with chanting with the mantras and these prayers and suktas, Purush Sukta. Then he accepts. Here he is running around just like on the ground without shoe, no Garuda, no chakra, no disc, nothing. So it was difficult for him to digest this fact, but he also could not disregard him because he saw that somebody got liberated. He killed him and he got liberated. So he also knows that only God can do that. So therefore his head was turning around. Of course, he has four, so no need to turn the head around. They already turned. So it's a difficult thing. And then people take all these types of statements and then they start saying, look, now you understand how the Siddhadeha is this and Siddhadeha is that. So you have to understand. So important thing is bhav.
Babaji Maharaj?
Yes.
So, there's one thing interesting that you said is, so that means the bhava is associated to the body?
If bhav is there, don't worry about the body. And if bhav is not there, don't worry about the body.
But do you have to have the body to get the bhava?
I'm
Or
saying,
the bhava to action?
I'm saying if bhav is not there, don't worry about the body.
Okay.
What you have to worry about is the bhav. Because without bhav it is abhav. Right? There is no bhav, then it is abhav. Abhav means void. So what you want is bhav. If you don't have a bhav, it's already abhav. So what is the value of your body or anything? That's why she gave up. Because she got the bhav. So important thing is always bhav, not the body. But what people do, they only run after the body. Oh, she is very beautiful. How do you know? Oh, she looks beautiful. But what is the bhav? Be with her for 1 week and then you know how beautiful she is. Right? No, not to you. I'm not asking. I'm not asking, don't worry. Otherwise you'll stop coming to class. I also want little audience, So people don't know about bhav. If they understand bhav, so many problems will be solved. Now they do speed dating. So how will you understand the bhav in speed dating? So therefore what you do, you are dating with abhav. And so on. It's a problem. So important thing is to understand what is the bhav of the person. Where is the bhav? If bhav is not there, walk away, No matter how beautiful he or she is. That's only trouble. The value is only of bhav. Everything else is abhav. Simple reality. So, because bhav means, in Hindi bhav means price. You know that? In Hindi, bhav means value. Bhav means wealth. essence. That is what is called bhav. So bhav, that's what you have to see. But now we don't know how to see that. You also have to have eyes to see bhav. So that's what Bhāgavatam is talking about. Bhāgavatam is explaining how to see bhav. Not only see but how to have it. Because when you have it, then you can see. If you don't have an experience of it, how will you know? Yes.
Maharaji, just as a follow-up on the example you gave, German to Polish. So if someone is German and is actually feeling that
right.
he's Polish.
Somebody has
Someone is German, but he actually feels that he's Polish, but he does not have Polish staiba because he was not born in Poland. So he continues and keeps that bhava, and and then at the end, depending on the bhava that he is in, that's the body that he will get in the future.
Yeah, next life he'll be born in Poland.
Okay.
Because he gave up the German bhav.
Thank you.
So then he will become Polish. He will be polished.
Thank you, Maharaj.
All other people are impolished. Okay, so now he explains what happened to the other side. So it says, Bhagavanapi Govinda teneva nena gopakan chaturvidhena ashayatva swayam cha bubujhe prabhu. So now the wives, they left. Then Krishna, who is called here as Govinda, so he took that food which they have brought and he fed the cowherd boys with that food, which was of 4 types. Earlier also it was mentioned 4 types. And vidhena ashitva swamcha, and then he ate himself later on. So you see, he is not God as you think, that he is sitting and everybody is just serving him. He served everybody and then he eats at the end. Although he was also hungry by that time. We saw that the cowherd boys were hungry, but he was also hungry. But he did not say, okay, I am the prince, I am the best, I am this, you all guys first. I will choose the best food from this and then you can eat the remnant. So generally devotees, they take remnants of Bhagavan, right? We offer food to Bhagavan, then we take prasad. But here is the other way around. Because Bhagavan Bhakta Bhaktiman, Bhagavan also thinks himself as devotee of his devotee. Just as devotee thinks himself as devotee of Bhagavan. So Bhagavan also takes pleasure in doing, because this is what love means. Love does not mean that you love me. That's what in the material world people are. When people say I am looking for love, it means I am looking for somebody to love me. Because if you want to love, what is the problem? No one is going to stop you. Right? If you want to love, we already said that there is no obstruction to love. Nobody can stop. Even Hiranyakashipu could not stop, who was so powerful, had all types of mystic power. So if you want to love, no one can stop you. But then people are starving for love, which basically means that I want someone to love me. Then you are in trouble. As soon as you think that somebody should love me, you already made sure that you will be unhappy. You have written a contract for being unhappy. And you will always be unhappy. Because now you are dependent. You have become a beggar. Love is a donor. Love means giving. Like Krishna says, distributing food. The Brahmana wives, they brought food. Love means I want to give. That is the characteristic of love. And now when you say somebody should love me, means I am begging, please love me, love me. Then I have to do everything to attract others. And then still you will be a failure. Because you cannot make someone love you. It's not possible. Just as you cannot stop someone from loving, you can also not make someone love. because love is a different ball game. So therefore Krishna, he loves his devotees and therefore he is serving them and he is giving them the best food, chaturvidha. So ashritva, this is nich pratyaya. Anashnad. So after making them eat, then swayam cha bubujhe prabhu. So there is also some interesting meaning behind this verse which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur will bring out. First of all, why api has been used here? Api means also. So also means as if somebody did something and he is also doing it. So why also is brought here? They should have said Bhagwan tu and Bhagwan, but Bhagwan or and Bhagwan. So what is the sense of api? So he will say that. He says Bhagwan api ti api karat sa deham jahu. So it was said that she gave up the body. So what did Bhagwan do? So he is called Govinda here. So Bhagwan api Govinda means Bhagwan made him attain himself. That's so sa deham jahu Bhagwan api Govinda. She gave up the body and Bhagwan is also Govinda. So what is Govinda? Tasya ga sarvendriyani ramanartham alakshitam tadaiv vindati smaityarth. So he is Govinda, meaning that all of her senses attained him, because vind means vidli labhe dhatu. So all her senses, ga means senses. So ga vindati iti Govinda means that who is the object of senses is called Govinda. So she gave up her body and he is Govinda means he became the object of her senses. That is Bhagavan api Govinda. So he is relating this with the previous thing. That's how he explains the word api. Tatasya teneva iti eva karena gopa apekshaya annasya alpatvam bodhitam. Then he says teneva annena, with that food. So he should have said, why he said teneva annena, only with that food. There was no other food, that was the only food. So why say it only that by that food? So that says that food was not enough. Means only with that much of food he fed everybody, because he is Bhagwan. That is another sense. Otherwise he should have said that tena annena gopakan chaturvidhena ashitva, in that food. So why with that food alone? Eva means alone. With that food alone means only that limited amount of food. That's what he says. So tatascha teneva iti eva karena gopa apekshaya annasya alpatvam bodhitam. That the food was not sufficient for all the cowherd because there were so many and they were really hungry, young people. They can eat a lot. So prabhuriti tadapi teneva sarvesham udrani puryamase. But he is Prabhu. So he means he made them satisfied with that. So Gopkan iti anukampayam karna. So Gop and Gopkan, kan pratyaya is also used sometimes in the sense of alpa, sometimes anukampa. Tadhit pratyaya. Chakarena swayam bhoktum anichan api bubuje iti. And then swayam cha bubuje, and he also ate. So he should have said that after feeding them, then he ate. So why also? See, in this sloka, generally this word api evan cha, nobody pays attention to it. And he has commented on all these of three. Api means also, cha means and, eva means only. So there is nothing much to comment on these. But he is commenting on all three of them. So he says that why cha is said here? he also ate. Say chakarena swayam bhoktum anichchanapi bhugujayati labhyate. So he says from the word cha also, he also ate. It seems that he did not have the wish to eat, but he ate. So why he did not have the wish to eat? So that says aniccha cha premvatinam tasam svakritena sankalpa bhangena paschat tap udayat. Because Krishna is thinking that look, they came to me and they were so much full of love for me. Because Krishna is not some heartless person. Although he is thinking of the external situation, the social custom, and he is not simply carried away by love sentiment only and then later on get into trouble. Then all the brahmanas will come and beat him up. That how you this is what God means, such an adharmic act you are doing. So he sent them away, but he understood their heart and he is touched by their loving sentiment, their love, and therefore he is also feeling repentance that they have to go and they wanted so much to be with me. So in that mood he did not feel like eating. But if he does not eat, then all the cowherd boys will feel sad. And why are you not eating? You fed all of us and now you are just sitting. What is the problem? So they will force him to eat anyway. So then he ate. Although he is just like when you are not a good mood, then you don't feel like eating. So you also have to see from his point of view that how would he have felt, how he would have felt when he told them to go. Although he sounded very harsh, but inside he is very soft. He sounded harsh because he wanted to send them away. It is not proper. It is against the social norms. But he understood their loving feelings and therefore he is tormented by that and does not feel like. So this is how Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is going into the inner of this sloka. It seems like a very simple verse. Nothing very complicated in it. Except that, well, he fed them and then he ate. But how these three indeclinable words are giving some extra sense to it and he's pulling it out. So that's very interesting. I'll stop here if there is any question.
Maharajji,
Yes.
can we understand from what he said is that Seva Bhava is the goal of sadhana, and based on the Bhava manifesting from the sadhana, one would get a body where you will now get a Sthai Bhava.
No, that's Bhava. You first get Sthai Bhava, then you get body. That Bhava which you have, Seva Bhavi Kailing, that is Sthai Bhava. Bhav about what?
I'm sorry, I'm getting confused because you said that they, in one there was Kripa Siddha, which was the example of one of the, wives of the Brahmanas. She gave up her body and she became Kripa Siddha. And then there were the others who went and saw Krishna and then they got their spiritual bodies as well. And there is more of, possibly sadhana siddhas.
No, they are not sadhana siddha, they are all Kripa Siddha.
They're all Kripa siddhas, okay. Yeah. And you also mentioned that after, when Tanmayji asked what body would they get, they might be getting a gopi body in the spiritual when they go to the spiritual realm. But to get that, do they have to first be born as a gopi in Rāsa-līlā, or that is the spiritual body?
Yeah, they will be born as gopi in Rāsa-līlā. It's added that otherwise they will not have the identity as gopi without taking birth in a gopi family. And that is the way to enter into Krishna's Rāsa-līlā.
Okay.
Because it is not Vaikuntha. If you want to go to Vaikuntha, there is no birth there in Vaikuntha. If you want to be part of Krishna Leela, you have to take birth in his Leela.
And once birth has been taken in his Leela, that just continues because there are multiple prakashas at all time.
That's all. Once you enter it, you never come out. This is a black hole.
Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Babaji, I have a question related to that word cha, because usually the word cha, which means and, means also. So how is that in this analysis he explained that this also implies that Krishna didn't want to eat, but also take? Because sometimes and means that maybe the person also has the desire,
Yeah, you have to see the construct. You could have said that he fed them and also ate himself. That you can say that. But you can also avoid it, that he ate with them. He served and ate. But that was not, it is not necessary to say that. Asitva and bubujhasvam. He fed them and himself ate. You have to see the construct of the sloka. Anything else? Okay.
Yes, one more last, Bhaji Maharaj. Sorry to continue on that. So if based on Seva Bhav, can someone enter Naralila as Patnis of Brahmanas, because they are also Siddhas?
Yes.
And then from there, can they have the same bhava or the ahankara of being the Patnis of Brahmanas, and then possibly give up and still become Gopi? Can there be, is there a transition path there as well, or it's for...
No, that doesn't happen.
Okay. So from a sadhaka standpoint, I mean, how does the
Sadhaka is the one,
begin?
you have to understand what sadhana means. What is sadhana? You go to school or college. You want to be an engineer or a doctor. So when you are in the college, that you are doing sadhana to be an engineer. Now once you become engineer, then you don't say that now I am going to become doctor. You become doctor when you go to college, you study medical and then you become doctor. You already became engineer, now you remain engineer. Of course, here in the material world you can engineer and then you can be a doctor, but who does that? So therefore, if you are already doing your sadhana to be in Mathura, you have to do sadhana to be there. It is already your goal. Then you achieve it. Why would you change now? Then you remain satisfied there. Even if you hear about Krishna, you don't change your mind. Not everybody from Mathura will come to Braj. There are so many other people. There are people in Dwarka, they don't think, let's also go to. Even Uddhava came, went back. He prayed fine, but he went back. He could have hung around here. He said, I will stay here. So they have, that is their sthai bhav. That is the meaning of sthai bhav. You remain fixed in that. Even sometimes your mind changes, you come back to your sthai bhav. Even you appreciate that they are so nice, they are so great, but you are in your own bhav.
Thank you, Maharaj. This is what I was trying to ask from yesterday's question as well. So this feeling of wanting to be part of Krishna's Naralila is what Mahaprabhu gave us as gift.
So
because previously no one understood.
Yes, and this is what you have to aspire for now. Not then I will reach first Dwarka and then from there I will reach Braj. Or I will first go to Mathura and then I will transfer. No. Then that is your place then. Because you are aspiring for that. Then you become happy and you are satisfied with that.
Thank you, Maharaj.
this entering of a black hole into can be a scary concept also. So maybe can you say something that would make it less scary or
No, black hole, I'm just giving an analogy. Means once you enter into Krishna Lila, you don't leave it. It's not a black hole as you know of black hole.
yeah, but also that concept in itself that you go somewhere that you don't know yet.
Hmm?
That you go somewhere, a place that you don't know right now,
Yeah.
and you don't know how it's going to be, but the one thing you know, you cannot escape from that.
Yeah.
So,
So therefore, why not you know more? Try to know more about it. If you know that you cannot escape, and why would you want to go there? You know more. There's so much. That's what we are trying to know, right? If you meet person, everybody is so lovely and everything is nice. Why do you want to leave it?
too good to be true, no?
Yeah, it's too good to be true, but it's true. It's true. So it's not a prison house that now you cannot leave. If you leave, we'll hold you. No, you like it. That's the meaning of love. You want to be free from love? Says I hate love because love is such a thing. If you love somebody, then you cannot be away from that person. That's what you're trying to say.
I'm not trying.
That's it. Yeah, love is a black hole. Right?
Yeah, in some way.
So, but love is also sweet. It's a sweet black hole.
Thank you. Now I'm less scared of entering.
Okay, we'll stop.